I'm outside possibly my favorite bookstore, the Book Table in Oak Park, Illinois. I've been coming here for a number of years. Every time I visit my sister on my annual holiday, half an hour, 40 minutes outside of Chicago, a lovely bookstore. Not the biggest I've been to, but just full of friendly people and with a fantastic selection of prose. And even though it's got a small section for comics, an impeccably curated one. I'm very happy to see that they've gotten bigger since I was last here, expanding into a new section with rare books and leather-bound books. And it's one of those very rare bookstores that sells primarily books. There's some bookmarks and a couple of coffee mugs and things like that, but there's no sandwiches or coffee or electronic items, etc. It's books first and foremost, which really warms my heart. So I'm going to step inside and give you a quick look around and maybe shop for a couple of comics while I'm at it. This is one of the couple of Marvel DC trade paperback shelves. There aren't really that many of them over here, but it's still pretty densely packed, and some, I guess, Rebirth and New Frontier. Some of these massive volumes by Paul Levitz. This seems like a fold-out accordion book of some kind. And of course, Watchmen, the annotated Watchmen, and Watchmen Noir. A few more Marvel DC comics over here, including some Vertigo. I can see some familiar books like All-Star Superman, more Watchmen, the deluxe edition of V for Vendetta, and then the meat of the collection being graphic novels and indie comics. Still some Vertigo, including Scalped, Self-Made Hero. I don't know this book, or this one. Some Best American Comics, Paperback Powers. Oh, this is a book I've been looking for. Yeah, I'll put this aside for right now. The Story of Jezebel. And here's a new edition of Daniel Klaus's Velvet Glove Cast in Iron. More Klaus, including Mr. Wonderful. Oh, this looks like it could be a companion piece to Audubon. Amy DeJong's The Return of the Honey Buzzard, which was just recommended to me by a viewer, and I purchased it literally a couple of days ago. Superb book. The two Nick Dronaso books, Beverly and Sabrina, that I just showed in my Shelf 13 video. Oh. This seems to be an autographed copy. Alright. I'm gonna have to take a closer look at this. Some Transmetropolitan trades tucked in here. Copperhead. And some familiar faces. Emil Ferris's My Favorite Thing is Monsters. And the two Jules Pfeiffer books, again, that I recently read. Cousin Joseph and Kill My Mother. A paperback version, unlike the hardcover version I have, which is more like this one. Wow, I'm not familiar with this at all. Santiago Garcia, though. Let's take a look. Oh, wow, that was not what I was expecting. Okay, that's a possibility. Trades of the Wicked and the Divine. Oh, Land of the Suns. Oh, this seems to be a new Ottaviani and Myrick book. From the creators of Feynman, one of my favorite non-fiction comics of all time. I wasn't even aware that First Second had brought this out. Oh, too many books. Some familiar spines over here, 3 Jason hardcovers, and the new edition of Incognegro from Dark Horse by Matt Johnson and Warren Pleece. This has been on my list since I heard it was being re-released, because I've heard nothing but good stuff about it. Oh, I can just imagine how long it's going to take if I'm going to go through each and every book over here that catches my interest. There's the To Kill a Mockingbird adaptation, Trades of Alex and Ada, Trades of Monstrous, A Sea of Love. Okay, I'm gonna have to take a look at this. It seems like a silent comic, a wordless one. That looks really interesting. Oh, I never heard of this, but it's intriguing. From Lion Forge Press. Interesting. I've heard a lot about Big Questions by Anders Nielsen, but it's also been sort of mixed, so it's a little intimidating to take on something so big if you've heard mixed things about it. Paul Pope's Heavy Liquid, the Wrinkles. Whoa, this is a hardcover edition of Wrinkles, not the paperback I have. I did not know this was out. Fantagraphics has brought out a hardcover edition as well. Ugh. Now what do I do? Do I double dip? I love this book. Persepolis, Jason Shiga's Book Hunter, superb book, but they don't seem to have Demon, which is what I'm really looking for. Volumes 2, 3, and 4. Oh, the new David Small, as well as Stitches, his earlier work. I've never read this, but I've heard it's superb. And there seems to be an autographed copy as well. National Award finalist. Okay, this one's going on the side pile as well. It's a beautiful looking volume of Walton Skizix from 1933 to 34. Here's a hardcover complete mouse. It's a handsome edition. We told you so. Comics is art and oral history of Fantagraphics. Oh, that's tempting. Cover by Dan Klaus, of course. It's sort of the Fantagraphics version of the Drawn and Quarterly 25 Years book. Off Season by James Sturm, which I loved. There's another James Sturm Market Day. It's a good thing I already have. Ooh, Safe Area Garage Door, the special edition. Oh, that's tempting, but I already own 2 editions of this book. But not in hardcover. It's got a cloth spine. Introduction by Christopher Hitchens. Lots of extras to start it off. That's the cover of one of my editions. Sorely tempted, but that would be a triple dip. A second deluxe edition of Paper Girls. I've ordered this back in India. It should be waiting for me at home by the time I get back. Trades of Saga, Why the Last Man books. Oh, Sleepless Volume 2. I enjoyed the first volume and my wife did as well. She was looking for the second volume. I think I'll pick this up for her. And of course we're in Oak Park, so Chris Ware's Monograph, Chris Ware's Acme Novelty Company, and Chris Ware's Building Stories. I've also been meaning to get Maximum Minimum Wage by Bob Fingerman. This is a good complete edition to have, but I think I might have to pick this up in India given its weight and size. I've already got a whole bunch of big heavy books I'm taking back with me. Okay, so these are the final 4. And Sabrina's a double dip, but it's an autographed copy. Stitches, Total Jazz, and Sleepless Volume 2. And those are all the ones I'm leaving behind. On to checkout. And one last thing I picked up at the book table with those comics was this exclusive tote bag designed by local resident Chris Ware. Of course, I couldn't resist it. I think he does frequent that store, so every year I wonder if I might accidentally run into him. Although if that did happen, I would probably be too tongue-tied to say anything. If you don't know why, you might want to check out my Chris Ware playlist linked over here, in which I have videos on both Building Stories as well as Jimmy Corrigan. I hope you enjoyed another one of these vloggy type of videos. Let me know if I'm doing alright. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you at the next video.